Good afternoon, students. Now is time of our history period. Lesson number 2: India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In the last period, we studied the topics Vijayanagar and Bahamani Kingdom, work of Mahmud Gawal, disintegration of Bahamani Kingdom, and end of Delhi Sultanate. Now, in this period, we are going to learn the imperialist policy of Mughal Emperor Akbar, how he was opposed by Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, and Rani Durgavati. So let us start. Babur, he had established the Mughal Empire. After the death of Babur, he fought the first battle of Panipat and he had established Mughal Empire in Delhi. He was succeeded by his son Humayun, and after Humayun, Akbar ascended the throne of Delhi. Akbar, he had to defeat Hemu, the chief wazir of Sur dynasty, in the second battle of Panipat. Akbar had defeated Hemu, chief wazir of Sur dynasty, in the second battle of Panipat, and Akbar ascended the Mughal Empire, throne of Mughal Empire in 1556. And Akbar had one ambition. He wanted to bring whole India under his one central authority. He wanted to establish Mughal Empire all over India. And the three personalities opposed his imperialist policies: Maharana Pratap of Mewar, Chand Bibi of Ahmednagar, and Rani Durgavati of Gondwana. Now let us first have information about Maharana Pratap. Rana Uday Singh, he was the ruler of Mewar. Rana Uday Singh was the son of Rana Sanga. After the death of Rana Sanga, Rana Uday Singh ascended the throne of Mewar. And after the death of Rana Uday Singh, Maharana Pratap ascended the throne of Mewar. And Maharana Pratap continued his struggle against the Mughals for the self-existence and independence of Kingdom of Mewar. And Maharana Pratap struggled against Akbar and Mughal power, Mughal army till the very end. In the battle of Haldighati, there was a great battle of Haldighati between Maharana Pratap and Akbar. In that battle, nobody was winner, but Maharana Pratap had lost nearly all his kingdom. But Maharana Pratap didn't lose his courage. He continued to struggle against Akbar. He had taken help of tribal Bhilla people and he had nearly conquered all his lost kingdom from Akbar. Maharana Pratap recaptured nearly all his kingdom from Akbar except the fort of Chittor. And Maharana Pratap has become immortal in the medieval history of India. Maharana Pratap is remembered today for his qualities like valor, bravery, courage, and self-respect. Maharana Pratap had given importance to self-respect in his life. Nothing was more important for him than independence and self-respect. He struggled throughout his life for the independence and self-existence of Kingdom of Mewar. Now, after Maharana Pratap, the second personality who opposed Akbar's imperialist policy was Chand Bibi. Chand Bibi was the daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar. Nizam Shah was the ruler of Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and Chand Bibi was married to the royal family of Adil Shah of Bijapur. So she belonged to two royal families. And in 1595 CE, Mughal forces laid siege around the fort of Ahmednagar. Mughal army had invaded Nizam Shahi, and at that time, Chand Bibi very bravely, very courageously defended the fort of Ahmednagar. But at that time, there was internal struggle among the Sardars of Nizam Shahi, and in that struggle, they murdered Chand Bibi. In that struggle, there was murder of Chand Bibi. Chand Bibi was killed, and it was only after that the Mughal army was able to capture the Ahmednagar fort. But still then, even after they captured the Ahmednagar fort, they were not able to conquer the whole territories of Nizam Shahi. Now, after Chand Bibi, the next personality who continued to fight against imperialist policy of Akbar was Rani Durgavati of Gondwana. Gondwana was the princely state in central India at that time. Gondwana comprised northern part of Madhya Pradesh, eastern part of Vidarbha, western part of Chhattisgarh and Odisha, and northern part of Andhra Pradesh. So that much territory constituted that princely state of Gondwana. Rani Durgavati, she was the daughter of Chandel Rajput. She was from Chandel Rajput dynasty, and she was married into the royal family of Gondwana. And after the death of her husband, she continued to fight against the Mughal army. Mughal army had invaded the kingdom of Gondwana, and at that time Rani Durgavati, she herself entered the battlefield, and she led the battle against the Mughal army. And in that battle, Rani Durgavati laid down her life while fighting against the Mughal army. And Rani Durgavati had become immortal. Her struggle is very important in the medieval history of India. And in this way, Akbar's policy of imperialism was opposed by the Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi and Rani Durgavati. Apart from that, Emperor Akbar was very liberal in his religious attitude. His religious philosophy was liberal, and he had given importance to all religions. For him, all religions were equal, and he had established new religion, Din-e-Ilahi, which comprised noble principles from all religions. And he never compelled anyone to adopt his religion of Din-e-Ilahi that he had established. He had scholars in his court. He had many scholar people in his court like Birbal, Tansen, Abu Fazl, etc. Akbar, Birbal was very astute statesman, and he was most witty person. And musician was great. Tansen was a great musician of his time. Now, after Akbar, his son Jahangir ascended the throne of Mughal Empire, and after Jahangir, his son Shah Jahan ascended the throne of Mughal Empire. When Shah Jahan fell sick, Shah Jahan had fallen sick. At that time, there was war of succession, war of inheritance among his 4 sons, Dara Shikoh, Murad, Shah Shuja and Aurangzeb. And in this war of succession, Aurangzeb had defeated his 3 brothers, Shah Shuja, Dara Shikoh and Murad, and he had killed them, he had executed them, and he had imprisoned his own father in the Red Fort of Delhi, and he ascended the throne of Mughal Empire in 1658 CE. Aurangzeb ascended the throne of Mughal Empire in 1658 CE. And when he ascended the throne, at that time Mughal Empire had spread over vast territory of India. Mughal Empire was extended from Kashmir to Ahmednagar, Kashmir in the north to Ahmednagar in the south, and Kabul in the west in the east, Kabul in the west to Bengal in the east. And Aurangzeb had added this vast empire, Assam. Aurangzeb had added Assam to this vast empire. He had also added the regions of Adil Shahi of Bijapur and Qutub Shahi of Golconda. He had ended these kingdoms, and he had annexed these territories to his kingdom. In the next period, we shall learn about the imperialist policy of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb had continued the imperialist policy. He wanted to expand his empire, and he had adopted the policy of religious intolerance. And because of that, he had to face opposition from the Rajputs, from the Sikhs, from the Ahoms, and from the Marathas. That we are going to study in the next period. Thank you.